Science with Shields. I am meteorologist Christy Shields. This one, we've kind of already done this experiment, but we've done it in a different way earlier in the year. We've got our safety goggles on. We are ready to go. Today, we are going to make fizzing Christmas trees, which I am so excited about. So first thing you need is you need some paper plates. You're also going to need some vinegar, which I've already put in this container. You'll need a bowl that you can mix in. For this one, we're going to need some baking soda. And if you want to make your trees green, we will also need green food coloring. And we've got that. And then if you want to add some pizzazz, you can use sprinkles or jimmies, whatever you call them. I have green ones here, or you can even use glitter because you're probably not going to eat this experiment, obviously. So you can use those as well. So the first thing we're going to do is we want to make our tree cone, because this is what we're going to stick our baking soda mixture in. So we've created a cone out of the paper cup. So I'm going to do that here quickly and show you how we do it, but we've already got one ready to go. And what we do with this is you take a normal paper plate, if I can get it to unstick from the other ones, and you're going to want to cut a slit in it, and then basically you mold it into a cone shape like this. And this is going to be your tree, and then you tape it so that it stays in this shape. So, ta-da, easy and simple just like that. So we've got our tree molds, and next we want to make our mixture that we're going to stick in the tree mold. So you need a bowl, and you're going to dump some baking soda in it. Now, we've done this before when we made oobleck, and you made it more slimy. So what we're going to do is we're going to add some water to this as well. But unlike the oobleck experiment, you don't want it to become slimy. You almost want your baking soda and water mixture to turn into like how it feels like when you touch sand, kind of a sandy mixture there. So I'm going to take one of these tin cans, and I'm going to fill it up with some water. And this is what we're going to use. So again, you want to move, and you're going to use a spoon to kind of mold this together. But before I do that, we want to add our green food coloring. So just a couple dots of green food coloring, because that's going to make this green. And if you want to add your sprinkles in, we can do that too. Whoops. And just add some sprinkles in to make it look more festive, because we're going to make a tree fizz. All right. Next, we're going to add a little bit of water, and you want to add a little bit at a time. Again, just wait until it turns into more of a sand mixture, and you may even have to add in a little more baking soda, but already we're starting to get kind of like that sand, and I think I'm going to add a little more baking soda in for our tree. And then you have to add a little water. But you do want that moldable texture. You don't want it to become slimy. So. And again, it may take a few tries to get it to the right texture for this. All right. So it looks like we've got it, and it's turned green. So we're going to take one of our cones now, and we're going to stick this sand-like mixture into the cone, kind of like scooping ice cream. And we're going to continue to stick that in. All right. And then once we have that inside the cone, you can freeze it for a little bit and give it a little more of a texture of a tree. I did that a little bit earlier. We've got that here. So I'm going to put this plate, and I'm going to stick this in our freezer here. And we're going to wait on that. Now, the next part of the experiment, you may want to leave it in the freezer for a little bit. You will take your cone out. My tree is a little bit not as tall. It didn't go the whole way in, but again, we've got this little Christmas tree here. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take the vinegar, which I have in this one. And again, I have this tiny cute little Christmas tree. And again, if it make sure to fill it the whole way into the cone, so that way your tree looks a little bit better than my tree. It's not as tall as I would like it. Here, maybe we'll add some to the top and we'll mold it on. Make it a little more Christmas tree-like. Ta-da! Looks better, right? Okay, so we have our Christmas tree, and we're gonna take some vinegar, and you're just gonna use a spoon, and watch what happens when I add that vinegar. And I think I'm gonna move this a little bit out of the way. Does that help so we can see the tree a little bit better? I'll move this to the other side too. Okay, so next, what we're gonna do is we're gonna stick the vinegar on top of the tree and watch the reaction. See how it fizzes and bubbles up? And slowly your tree is going to disintegrate and go away. It's almost going to melt like the snow does in the winter. But you can hear that fizzing and popping noise. Again, we've kind of done this experiment in other ways through this season. I want to bring up the graphic here. So again, we've got our fizzing Christmas trees. And what is happening is, again, you've got that baking soda, which we made our tree out of, mixed with water. That's a base. Then we have the vinegar, which is an acid. So when it's combined, they react, and that creates carbon dioxide. And when you're making that reaction and making that carbon dioxide, that's what creates the pops and the fizzes with the Christmas tree. And again, you can have a lot of fun with this. If you want to dump a whole bunch of vinegar on it, if you stick it in a bowl, we can move this to a bowl. You can really stick a lot on and watch it. Now, and just fizz away, which is really fun. Who doesn't like to watch this? I love watching chemical reactions. And again, it's really fun because we made a Christmas tree. Also really neat to see where the food coloring is compared to where the baking soda is. You can kind of really see that whenever you add the vinegar. All right, please show me if you make fizzing Christmas trees. I'd love to see pictures of them. Thanks for watching this episode of Science with Shields.